I'm Hank Stolz for Lights, Camera, Chamber. Right now I'm on Shrewsbury Street at Sweet. And in just an hour, there is going to be a chamber after hours here at Sweet. The place will be packed. What we're going to do is we're going to see if we can sneak in right now before things really get going so that we can sit down with the owner and chef, Alina Eisenhauer, and find out a little bit more about the origins of Sweet. Well, Chef, this is the calm before the storm because in just a little bit it is going to be packed with a Chamber After Hours event. Tell us a little bit about Sweet and the origins of this restaurant. How many years now on Shrewsbury Street?
Yeah, I opened in 2008 down the street in a little spot that's now the Curtain Shop next to Funky Murphy's. My restaurant there was the size of my entire kitchen here, so it's a big change.
Chef, in your 9 years, how has Shrewsbury Street changed? I mean, it really is Worcester's restaurant row, and you're a big part of that.
It's changed. I think overall dining in the whole city has changed a lot. Shrewsbury Street, in all honesty, has probably changed the least. I mean, we've grown and we've gained more restaurant, but I think it always was restaurant row. That's what drew me here. That's why I came to open a business in Worcester. I'm not from Worcester. I had a business in Sturbridge, and when I was interested in Worcester as a place to start a business, Shrewsbury Street was the obvious answer because it was restaurant row. It's grown, I think, in the last couple of years now. We have a much nicer selection of restaurants. It's more diverse than it used to be. We have Premier and we have, a lot of different types of food. But there's also, I think, Shrewsbury Street has staying power. There's a lot of restaurants. You'll get other parts of the city, restaurants come, restaurants go. On Shrewsbury Street, there's a lot of restaurants that have been here for a really long time.
Fantastic. Well, it's great that you were able to do that in the space of 9 years. Obviously, the business has taken off. And obviously, by the way, as I've been caught having my order here, it's not just cupcakes. It's not. I think sometimes maybe people have that idea. But we are inside of a full restaurant, a full bar, and it's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you. Yeah, we've transitioned. I think people think just cupcakes because we started, I guess cupcakes made us famous, but we were really known for cupcakes and a lot of dessert when we started. We were mostly dessert and some small plates and apps, but especially since moving to this new location 3 years ago, we've really transitioned into a full-service restaurant, dinner and dessert, and a really nice full menu of farm-to-table food. And then obviously this great bar. We do brunch, we do events, so we're much more than cupcakes. And because of that, very soon we're going to kind of change the landscape on Shrewsbury Street, and the big iconic cupcake sign is coming down. We have a new sign coming. It's a really nice sign, but it does not have a cupcake on it anymore.
Breaking news here on Lights, Camera, Chamber. So it's going to be a new logo.
Yeah, the word Sweet, that part of the logo will still be the same and look the same. It's just the cupcake won't be there anymore. And it's not that we're not going to make cupcakes. We still have cupcakes. But I think this sign, especially people driving by that might not have ever been before, and just that people keep seeing that cupcake is kind of reinforcing the thought that that's so much of what we do. And it is a big part. Yes, we make really good cupcakes, but we make a lot of other really good things too. So
when you're putting together, because you are, of course, the executive chef as well as the owner, when you're putting together the menu, what are you going for? What's the concept of Sweet?
The most important thing to me is farm to table, is that it's fresh and it's local. So all of our meat, our dairy, the majority of our produce, I'd say 98% of our produce is local, year-round. Amazing. People don't realize that. In Massachusetts, we can get lettuce year-round. Tomatoes from backyard farms in Maine, they're greenhouse grown. So in the winter, the only way we use them is we'll char them or use them roasted, because even though they're local and fresh and on the vine, the flavor's not quite as good as the summer, but we really are able to use produce from local farms year-round, meat from local farms year-round. So that's the first thing that's really important. And then my style of food is really what's now considered new American, which is that it's not a lot of things that people might consider comfort food, but things influenced from all over the world. So there's some Asian influence in some dishes, there's some Middle Eastern influence, there's a little bit of Italian influence. So it's really kind of taking dishes people are familiar with and maybe using some spices and seasonings from other countries. We have ribs on the menu that are really popular. We have rib tips that are seasoned with harissa, which is a Moroccan chili paste, and with lentils, so it's a much more Moroccan twist on ribs, which are really a kind of American thing. So that's really kind of the way that all of my dishes go.
I don't know if people know this about you. I think they might be able to tell just by seeing you. But you have a background also in fitness and fitness training, which seems like such an unusual combination.
That was kind of, happened through school. So without saying how old I am, although people can probably guess by saying this, when I graduated high school, culinary wasn't a field that anyone wanted you to go into. It was before Food Network. It was before chefs became celebrities. It was before it was really respected in this country as a job. And I had worked in restaurants, always loved food through high school, but it was everyone, like, that's just not what you would do. And I also loved cooking so much. I was really afraid watching the chefs that I had worked with when I was younger of getting burnt out or not loving it as much as I did. So I went away to college and fell in love with fitness and went to school at Northeastern for exercise physiology. But then after I had my son, I just realized cooking is what I love to do. I always continued to do it, for friends and family and stuff. I realized that's really what I love to do, and that's what where my heart is. So came back to cooking and been doing it ever since.
I also want to touch on the fact, because if people probably aren't able to get the full scope of what's happening. Where we're sitting, I'm looking out at a real beehive of activity. There's a lot happening here as you're getting ready for this event. There's a lot of people working here. You're a big employer here in the city of Worcester, and of course that's part of what the Chamber stresses. It's wonderful small businesses, people who have really put their life, and it's a 24/7 business, that's for sure, and have grown as you have, so that now you're employing more and more people and retaining that business here in Worcester. Tell us a little bit about the business aspect of it.
We employ. That's something that's also important to me is giving people jobs. So we employ about 30 people now, that's grown a lot. Yeah, we're at about 30, maybe a little bit more, between part-time and full-time, mixed front of the house, back of the house. The majority of them do live in Worcester. A lot of younger people. First job, some career people, we have a good mix. I'd say we're kind of in the middle, but it's great, and it's nice to be able to give people a job and keep them here and teach them skills. And we have people that move on. That's part of our industry. I think a really big part of, especially chefs, we know that I don't expect someone to come here and stay forever necessarily. We teach them things, we give them tools, especially when they're young, and they're going to go learn in other kitchens. Some of them, they come back. Some of them go out and learn other places, go to other cities, and then bring it back here and come back to us again, which is, great.
Well, the Chamber being here tonight, let's talk a little bit about that, and having their after-hour event here really shows off all of the different kinds of functions and what a great place this is to have your event.
Yeah, this is a fun event. We did a Chamber after hours last year, actually the same week last year, and it was huge, and we're expecting this one is very big. I think they have a full attendance, as full as that they ever get, so it's great.
I know that I have to let you get to work, so last question, I promise. But I love the look, and people will be able to get a look at that. We'll take a quick walk around as well. But it's from everything from the uniforms to the music that is playing to the look inside. I mean, the whole aesthetic is just terrific. That obviously comes from you as well.
Yeah, I had at first I saw the space, and the space lends itself to a certain feeling anyway, and then it was working with, again, local people. I worked with Decorum for the lighting. She used to be at Light Lab on Shrewsbury Street, and now she's in Northborough, but I tried to work with all local people for that too, and kind of talk about ideas and the feeling that I wanted, and we arrived at this, and I love this space. I love this building.
We want to thank you for being with us here on Lights, Camera, Chamber, and looking forward to a terrific event tonight.